Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're doing something a bit different, really specific actually. We're not looking back at history or, some big event. We're zeroing in on a roadmap for one single day in the future, September 25th, 2025.
That's right. We've got this interesting stack of sources. There's an astrological outlook
Yeah.
kind of mapping the energy, a TarotScope giving strategic pointers, and then a story scope, like a narrative, to ground it all.
Yeah, and the mission is basically to pull out all the actionable stuff. How do you actually use this day? What's the best way to navigate it?
Exactly. We want to give you like the cheat sheet for the 25th.
And it's fascinating because the sources present this where it feels almost like a contradiction, doesn't it?
It really does. You've got this push for deep emotional work, philosophical thinking. The sources call it a respite.
A respite, yeah.
Yeah.
But then, boom, right next to it, there's this incredibly cunning strategic advice symbolized by, well, an opossum.
The opossum, yeah. Representing strategy, patience, timing. It's quite the pairing.
It almost suggests you can't have one without the other on this day. Like the inner work fuels the outer strategy.
I think that's exactly it. The deep dive suggests that if you skip that internal grounding, that emotional synthesis, your external moves, well, they just won't land right. You need that inner clarity first.
Okay, let's unpack that inner landscape then, the astrology piece.
Yeah.
It calls the day a respite, which sounds lovely, obviously.
Right.
But how can deep emotional work and philosophical stuff be a respite? Usually that feels like work, hard work.
Right. And that's where the definition is key. It's not respite from effort. It's more like respite from chaotic reaction.
Okay.
The source describes it as this moment where your emotional depth actually connects productively with philosophical expansion.
Well,
It's when insight meets wisdom and, importantly, optimism.
insight meets wisdom. Can you break that down a bit? What's the practical difference there according to the source?
Well, insight might be that raw flash, that sudden emotional realization, like, wow, this situation feels like this. That's the what. Wisdom is putting that flash into a bigger picture, understanding the why. Why does it feel like this? What pattern is repeating? What does it mean for my overall journey?
So it's about context, taking the intense feeling and immediately framing it.
Exactly. The 25th is apparently the day to do that actively.
Yeah.
Channel that intensity into growth, into understanding, rather than just letting it swirl around as anxiety or frustration.
So the advice, have deep conversations, explore psychological stuff. It's not just about venting or feeling things. It's about structuring those feelings.
Precisely. You have to leverage the intensity. If you feel strongly about something that day, the advice is to immediately ask, okay, what's the lesson here? How does this fit into my bigger picture? Otherwise, it's just draining.
That makes the respite idea make more sense. It's like catching your breath, but using that breath to reinforce your foundations.
Yeah, and the source specifically mentions it's a chance to regain a sense of peace and quiet before the weekend, which apparently has a gentler vibe.
So it's like mandated prep work. Get your inner house in order before you try to relax.
Kind of, yeah. It's proactive introspection. Instead of waiting until you're overwhelmed, the 25th says, do the deep stabilization now. So when the gentler energy arrives, you can actually use it from a place of strength, not just collapse.
Okay, that quiet strength you mentioned feels like the perfect bridge. Because right after this deep internal focus, the sources pivot hard to external strategy. How does a day focused on inner peace suddenly require this, almost aggressive sounding cunning? The opossum strategy.
Well, think about it. When you do that deep inner work, when you gain new insights, maybe shift your perspective, you're actually quite vulnerable, aren't you?
Yeah, I suppose so. You've changed something internally.
Right? And the external world, especially people who like you being predictable, might push back. The opossum strategy then becomes the shield. It's how you protect that new internal ground you just gained.
Okay, this is where it gets really juicy. The TarotScope. The opossum archetype and the power of strategy in disguise. And it explicitly says this isn't weakness.
Not at all. It redefines strength. It's survival through cunning, patience, and timing. It's about intelligence over brute force, conserving your energy.
And the advice is super specific. Know when to fight, okay? When to hide. But the real kicker is knowing when to play dead, so danger just passes by.
That's the core tactic, isn't it? Playing dead.
But let's explore that. Playing dead, isn't there a massive risk that just looks passive? Weak, even, especially at work or in relationships.
That's the crucial distinction the source makes. In this context, playing dead is framed as an active, strategic choice. It's not freezing out of fear. It's the ultimate self-control.
So give me an example. What does that look like practically?
It could be delaying your response to that really triggering email for 24 hours. It could be staying silent in a tense meeting because the other person is revealing more by talking than you would by jumping in.
Choosing not to react immediately.
Exactly. It's a calculated pause. Holding your ground quietly, trusting that the right moment will come, or that the situation will resolve itself if you don't fuel it.
That requires incredible confidence, though. Trusting that not acting now is the right move.
Absolutely. The clear instruction is, use strategy, not force.
Yeah.
Think ahead. Let other people show their cards first. Let them burn their energy while you conserve yours.
And I guess if you've actually done the internal work we talked about earlier, that emotional synthesis, then you actually have the bandwidth for that strategic pause. You're not just reacting on raw emotion.
Precisely. You're grounded. So when someone tries to pull you into drama, into conflict, you recognize it for what it is, an attempt to drain your energy, to knock you off that center you just found.
And the opossum says, don't take the bait.
Exactly. Detach. Your peace, your plans, your insights are too valuable. You don't need to win every skirmish, especially the noisy ones.
This also connects to appearances, right? If you're being strategically still, you need to manage what you project.
Definitely. The opossum is a master of presentation control. Are you revealing too much? Showing your hand too early? Or maybe too little? Coming across as secretive when you don't mean to? Success on this day, the source suggests, might hinge on keeping your real thoughts, your plans, quiet, until that perfect moment to act or speak arrives.
Okay, this is powerful stuff, but it's still a bit abstract. Let's bring it down to earth with the StoryScope. The case study about Elena.
Yes, Elena's story is the perfect illustration. It puts the opossum strategy right into a relatable context.
So set the scene. What was she dealing with?
She was right in the middle of some serious workplace drama. The source uses words like tensions, sharp words, secret alliances, invisible politics, you know, the type of environment.
Oh yeah, toxic.
And she felt that very natural, very human pull to jump in, to defend herself, maybe lash out, react to the pressure.
She felt the storm trying to suck her in, but then she had this dream, right? On the night of the 25th.
Yes, a really vivid, symbolic dream. She sees this opossum just watching, very still, under the moonlight.
Okay.
And around it, drifting like smoke or mist, are these masks. A smiling one, false support. An angry one, open conflict. A hollow-eyed one, maybe indifference or hidden agendas.
Wow. Masks. That's potent imagery.
And as she watches in the dream, the masks just fade away, one by one. They dissolve into the mist around the still opossum.
Implying that the strategy isn't about fighting the masks.
Exactly. It's about outlasting them, waiting for their superficiality to lose power on its own. The opossum in the dream even demonstrates playing dead.
Ah. So it connected the idea directly for her.
Yes, it wasn't presented as weakness, but as a conscious choice, a strategic move. And the message she got was crystal clear. Not all battles require your claws. Her power was in choosing not to engage directly.
So the next day, she goes back into that tense environment. How did she actually apply this? It must have been incredibly hard not to react when things flared up again.
It required a total shift from her usual instincts.
Yep.
When the argument started, the veiled accusations, the raised voices, she deliberately didn't jump in.
She just watched.
She listened, waited, observed. The source says she remained quiet, steady, unreadable. While everyone else was getting frantic, needing to score points or defend themselves.
They were revealing their hands, their desperation, maybe.
Exactly. They took the bait. She, having done that internal work and received that dream insight, refused to bite. She held her ground, strategically.
And did it work? Did the waiting actually lead to something?
It absolutely did. There was this moment described where the chaos just paused. Like everyone ran out of steam for a second. A sudden lull.
Yeah.
A gap.
Her moment.
That was her cue. She spoke just once. Calmly, precisely. A single, measured insight that apparently cut right through all the noise.
And what happened?
It quieted the room. It actually eased the tension in a way that all the previous arguing hadn't. Her one strategic, timed intervention was more powerful than all the frantic energy before it.
Wow. That perfectly validates the whole silence builds power idea from the opossum strategy.
And her reflection afterward really brings it all together. She did these little centering actions, lighting vervain, using black obsidian, acknowledging that need for inner grounding we talked about first.
Right, connecting the inner and outer again.
And she realized the wisdom wasn't about winning the fight, but about knowing when the fight was over before it even really began for her. waiting until the drama exhausted itself, the truth revealed itself, and the masks just fell away.
So that's the full picture for September 25th then. It's this dual imperative. You absolutely need that deep dive into your own psychology, finding meaning, getting grounded.
That emotional depth, yeah.
And then you couple it with this incredibly disciplined, patient, strategic stillness on the outside, the opossum's way.
You need to know yourself deeply enough to have the self-control not to act impulsively.
Yeah.
You need that philosophical grounding so external chaos doesn't throw you off balance.
Be the wise observer first.
Exactly. Conserve your energy, your emotional resources, and then, if action is needed, deploy it with maximum precision and impact at the perfect time, not a moment sooner.
So we've mapped out this specific day, September 25th, 2025. But really, what does this mean for you listening now?
Well, these insights, the need for inner depth matched with strategic patience, they're pretty timeless lessons, aren't they? It's fundamentally about managing your energy and focus.
Yeah, it makes a strong case for finding strength in ways we don't usually think about, like in waiting, in observing.
So the thought we want to leave you with is this. Where in your life right now might you need some of that opossum cunning, that strategic patience?
Where are you perhaps feeling pressured to jump in, to react, to fight a battle that maybe isn't truly yours or isn't ready to be fought yet?
Think about it. How much longer might you need to just wait, observe from the shadows, let the situation unfold, before the masks inevitably fall away, and you can step forward with that calm, clear, precise power?